Welcome back to Conquering College. Jeff Anderson here. In this video, we're going to talk about budgeting your weekly study hours. This is part of the analysis of your weekly schedule to set you up for success in your academic goals. Let's jump right in. We begin with the process of looking back at your academic goals from video 1. You revisited these in video 3. And we're going to fill out this table, which is available in the worksheet below. It's table 6.1. Let's begin with the first section of table 6.1, which is course names. In this list of course names, you're going to list all the courses that you're currently enrolled in. Next to each course, you're going to write the desired letter grade. These are the grades that you decided that you wanted to shoot for in your academic goals from video 1. Associated with each of your desired letter grades, you're going to go ahead and write the number of units associated with each course. You might get this from your list of classes on your registrar's online site. Last, we're going to go ahead and write budgeted weekly study hours, which are budgeted out-of-class weekly study hours, which is the number of hours you plan to spend studying associated with each class. As we'll see, this number comes from looking at the number of units of the course and your letter grade that you want. After you've calculated all of these, the number of hours that you're going to spend outside of class, you're going to add all of them, you'll see this in a second, to get your total budgeted out-of-class study hours per week, for this is your entire academic load. Let's take a look at an example of how this works. So here we go. We start with table 6.1. We're going to write the course name, the desired letter grade, number of units, and weekly budgeted out-of-class study hours. We begin by looking back at the academic goals that we set. Here we're looking at the table that we wrote in video 3. I see that I'm taking 3 classes in that video. We discussed this, and I want an A, and a B. So I just go ahead and describe that right on this table. So here, Math 1C, 2B, 1A. Each of these is 5 units, and I got that by looking at my schedule of classes. And then what I'm going to do is calculate the budgeted study hours. To calculate this, I'm going to use this table, which is available in the worksheet below. So here we go. Because I want an A in this class, the recommendation that I'm giving to y'all is to use 3 hours for each 1 unit that I want an A in. So in particular, this is a 5-unit class. For each 1 unit, I'm going to budget 3 study hours. So total, 3 times 5 is 15 hours outside of class. Same thing here. I want an A. That corresponds to 3 hours out of class for every 1 hour in class, for every 1 unit. 3 times 5 is 15. I said that I was going to accept a B in English 1A. Well, my suggestion to you is to use 2.5 hours for out of class for every 1 hour in class for a B. So 2.5 times 5 is 12.5. Now what I do is I just add those numbers up. 15 plus 12.5 is 42.5. And that's the total amount of time that I expect to spend studying outside of class. A few words about this. This comes from my experience as an undergraduate as well as graduate student. Pretty good numbers for a standard undergraduate class. The kind of important thing in this whole process is to remember that these are approximations. Sometimes you're not going to have to spend as much time as listed here. Sometimes you'll have to spend more. But this gives you a pretty good sense of how to budget study times. The other thing is I like to be conservative. So these numbers are a little bit higher than necessary because academic studying fluctuates from week to week. When we're planning our schedule, we want to assume the worst case scenario. So if that happens, we're guaranteed to have time. That's why you see that these numbers might be a little bit high, but I highly encourage you to plan more time than you think you need. Okay, now that we have a sense of what we're going to be doing on a week-to-week basis, we have a sense of how much time we're going to be studying. In the next video, we're going to analyze this to help us avoid common scheduling traps. I'll see you in the next video.